All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be starting the podcast in five, four, three, two. Welcome, one and all, to the Gamers at Large podcast. We're up here to episode 23, introducing everybody from my left to my right, getting it going. We're going to start off with Twilight Bites. Do your thing. Say
What's
your
happening,
intro.
y'all? I ain't got no fabulous intro, but it's Twilight Bites. Come check my videos out. It's cool stuff. Looking forward to hearing from y'all.
All right, up next is my boy over there from the big old NYC. Go ahead and say your thing, Gilligan.
Yo, everyone. It's me again, and I just got back home from Kentucky Fried Drone. Those Nintenders are sure delicious.
Alrighty. Up next we
Okay.
got my boy Letters. Letters, do your thing, man.
Well, thanks for listening in again, people. Welcome again to another Gamers at Large pod. To do a quick shout out for Active Gamer Life's Google Plus group. I got Twilight in here through that, so hoping y'all enjoy this and we have a good time tonight.
Alrighty. And quick shout out to Red Knight, man. What's up, yo? He's from the East Coast too.
Word.
And getting it in now, up next is my boy, Mr. T.
Hey, fools, it's Mr. T at the Mr. T Show, doing it again, so let's make it go.
Alright, up next we got Shep. Yo, Shep.
Hey, what's going on? It's Good Shepherd. Hopefully y'all enjoy the podcast tonight. Peace.
Alright. And we got Shadow Fox getting ready to do his thing.
Hey, this the Road Ninja K9 Descent. You know what it is. Shadow Fox Prime, Shadow Fox Tiffany. Let's get it going. Gamers at Large. Let's go.
Alright, and last is me, of course, QMC Quan Manchu. Let's get it going. Alright, so who's got the first topic for tonight, if you don't mind me asking?
Aye.
I think we got Gilligan asking of something. He was asking something offline actually. He was gonna bring up a topic. Let's see what he got to say.
Well, I'm gonna say today's topic in an act. Hey, want me to jump? Is there enough room to go into that bandwagon? Let me jump right in on Game Theory.
Okay.
I know what this is about. I'm not going to
Here's,
spoil it. Go ahead, Gilligan.
The latest video of Game Theory, and not the goddess one. It's the one before it. It's called "The Wii U is the next Virtual Boy." Boy, I'm had to say that.
32-bit CPU?
Where do I begin with this? It's like, I love his videos, but this one is the worst one out of all of them. His points of comparing the Wii U to the Virtual Boy is so flawed. I was like, he must be on something. Like, I mean, first off, he said that, that the Wii U is extremely expensive, right? Comparing to the Virtual Boy. How he says, when you get like the basic model, right? The $300 model when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had to buy the extra battery, then the extra game, even though that stuff could easily be implemented with the other consoles. Which is funny because he liked to basically jump right in and compare how the PS4 sold successfully well compared to the Wii U, and it was just ridiculous. Like, as a matter of fact, I happen to work at Best Buy, right? And all the customers that I meet, they always have been asking me for that PS4 camera, right? Which is about like $60. So yeah, like, not only that, you had to get the console, the PS4, but you had to get a game, and also the subscription, and also the camera. So that same applies, and the PS4 is still more expensive than the Wii U, if you think about it.
Touching on that, I was at Walmart with my wife last night and her granddaughter, and we were over there at Walmart, getting a little gifty for my mom, and I ran into some people that, were buying video games themselves, and we got to the topic of talking about all the consoles that are coming out, and the subject came onto the Wii and Wii U. They said to me, and I'm gonna quote them there, and they said they went to their GameStop and they got rid of their Wii because they couldn't do anything with it with the Wii U, and that the Wii U being a brand new system, they weren't going to be able to use nothing with their games, their old games with it or whatever, according to the guy at GameStop. And I was like, hold on a second.
Ooh,
I said,
that
hold
dude
on
did
one
not
second.
get me wrong.
Exactly. They had them sell their Wii U, their games, their controllers to GameStop and said that it was not backwards compatible.
Ooh,
That's not the
Mr.
first time.
Information.
That's not the first time that's happened.
I would sue for information that bad.
Well, can I shut all that down right now? I'm gonna
Get
try
it
to be
in.
concise.
Get it in. Get it in.
First of all, we're gonna start with the actual video. What you started off with. That dude clearly is making that video for hits. That's all I can say about it. He didn't. Everyone who talks about the Wii U in such a negative light, they clearly haven't fully experienced the system. They haven't dealt with it. They haven't thought about the fact that the PlayStation 4, at its core, without any extras, is still more expensive than a Wii U with a game and accessories. So it's clearly a bias out there. Just that point blank period right there. And so it's getting kind of scary because you got people at retailers who are furthering this ignorance and this bias, and it's gone from being like just trolls on the internet to being like a real serious business problem. And I think like Nintendo needs to do something to address these people directly because they are affecting business directly in a very tangible way, and I'm getting tired of it. I'm sorry.
Yep. This ties
we
into
need-
the topic,
You're right,
actually.
though.
The
You're
only
right, Twilight.
The only thing
And-
we need is a please understand and then a nice little sound effect of a slap.
Please understand. Shut the
Stop
hell
Please
up.
understand.
GameStop made a slap yourself edition.
But you know what's funny? This dude, Matt Pat, loves to say that he's a big Nintendo fan. Like he said in his videos, is it? Oh, it just saddens me that the console isn't selling well, and
I
it's
heard
like
that crap
I'm starting to think I'm not starting to buy into that crap really.
Okay, let's stop right there then. The sales, right?
Yeah.
What console has Wii U not outsold day and date right now? The only
None.
console it hasn't outsold since it's been released is the Wii. It outsold the Xbox 360's launch figures. It outsold the PS3's launch figures.
Exactly.
The only console that has done better than it since launch is the PS4 and the Wii. Nobody is talking about how the Xbox One is doing just as bad as the Wii U did last year.
As a matter of
Nobody's
fact,
going to talk about it.
the proportionate numbers for the PS4 are actually roughly around the same, given the same amount of time, as the Wii U, maybe slightly less in some cases.
Yeah.
If you sit up here and go by a month-by-month basis since its time of release,
I don't know about you guys, but with almost zero hype other than a couple of techno dance commercials right after the console launch,
The Wii U
3
did pretty well.
million at the end of December is a pretty good number.
Indeed.
In 2012, when no other hardware was out and there was no buzz about next gen.
And don't
I had
forget,
no clue about the Wii U. Sorry.
that's amidst consumer confusion. Don't forget that as well.
Yeah, that's
Consumer
what people
confusion.
thinking the gamepad
And
made
you
the Wii
know,
better.
that's the funny thing too. He compared the Wii U sales, the first year sales, to the Virtual Boy sales in total sales. He was like, and he's still saying it. Oh, that's better than the Virtual Boy, but it's not as good. Still not good enough.
As
It's
good as
like-
it ought to be. Compared to what?
That video
That's what
was
I'm
designed for gaining attention.
I think
That's
like
what
the
that
only
was.
thing that sold less than the Virtual Boy was the N-Gage.
Actually, yeah, that's right.
Wow. You went way back on that one.
I forgot about the NK.
You took it way back.
No,
I remember playing
got one for you.
Godzilla on that.
Gamescom.
Gamescom, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Quan takes it.
And the next thing he liked to add up how he said that Nintendo is silent to the developers about the Wii U gamepad, which I heard that Nintendo actually gave out these Wii U dev kits to a lot of these developers. A lot of these third-party developers. It weren't like that with the Virtual Boy, at least from what I'm hearing in this video.
And
From what I'm seeing, they're having a hard time trying to grasp the simple idea of putting inventory and map on a little screen.
which is sad. Sorry.
I mean,
Nobody-
It's so simple.
Quad. It's not that it's
Well, here's the
hard.
other thing too. You got politics as an issue also.
mhm.
Because okay, so these these alpha development kits went out to a lot of people, and the beta development kits went out to a lot of people. And apparently there are stories, I showed one or two in one of the videos that I did, where people didn't even use them. The publisher is like, we're not going to front the money for that. So
it doesn't matter how well Nintendo is doing.
Exactly.
And that's without even giving it a chance.
Yep.
Nintendo could be like, hey, the CPU is Power 7, the GPU is next generation, blah, 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 and we have 16 gigs of RAM. It doesn't matter. It's Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't change their business practices for the developers to do whatever they want to do on their system. So we're still going to get the backlash that we get.
Okay, so can I say something real quick? I don't want to beat the dead horse.
Go for it.
But we are kind of beating the dead horse when we say that people treat Nintendo wrong. At the end of the day, what needs to happen is Nintendo needs to speak up. Bottom line, end of story. Nintendo is not saying enough, and that's bad. All they got to do is raise their voice, and it'll be a whole different world, I believe. But they're totally silent.
They need to be less Iwata and more Yamauchi.
Yep, let me jump in real quick.
Well, the last time they spoke up was in 2006, and that's when Reggie basically lamed out the PS3.
Okay, hold on a second. T, what was your point?
Why or how would you address such a idiotic statement as comparing the Wii U to the Virtual Boy?
By advertising everything you have.
I saw that headline as for the video, and I decided not even to hit myself by watching it. It's just, I mean, at that point you are doing it for views, and I mean, Virtual, really? I mean, you just think of the worst. You can just think of the worst selling Nintendo console and compare the Wii U to that, and that that'll get people jumping around and flipping around, and I mean. To me, it's a waste of time to even address that. Did the Virtual Boy sell 6 copies? Yet alone 6 million in a year. I mean, it's a waste of my time to even comment on such stupidity.
Some people are just click hungry. What can I say? I mean,
to me, I mean, for those guys of all people to take it there, is just extremely disappointing.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to do that. They have a huge subscriber base, and
that's the problem, T. That's the problem. Is people have all this audience, this huge audience. They say it's a saying: if you know 7 people, you know everyone in the world. So if you know 30,000 people, that word could spread to 30, 50, 100,000 more people. And so when people share that message of the Wii U is like the Virtual Boy, you tell 30,000 people that. The rest of the world could feel that way or think that way and not even take the time out to go and buy a Wii U.
As a matter of fact, I saw the comments on that video, and some of them even said, "Oh, I really feel like I regretted buying the Wii U at launch or buying the Wii U at all." And it's like
it's a persuasive way. It's very persuasive in how the title is written. It makes people
that's one of the things I don't understand. It's like I bought a system to play and enjoy the system. I didn't buy it for the sales. I own a Sega Saturn. I bought a Sega Saturn, and it's one of my favorite all-time consoles. I own a Sega Dreamcast, and it's one of my all-time favorite consoles. Who are you? What kind of a drone are you to let other people's opinions and sales dictate whether you enjoy something or not? What kind of a drone?
Well, you have
to not be able to enjoy something because not enough people are buying it. I mean, you need.
Let's let Rashidi talk, please.
Go ahead.
Get it in, Rashidi.
Yeah.
Now I don't even know what to say because y'all had me cut off so long. Anyway, the sad fact is this. Unfortunately, most of the consumers nowadays are practically sheep. People feed them false information and they roll with it. I work in corporate America. And almost every time I bring up the Wii U, people have no clue what I'm talking about. They're like, "You mean the Wii?" I'm like, "No, Wii U."
I think it's starting to break up a bit, Rashidi.
All I heard was that people have no clue what I'm talking about now.
I hear everything he's saying. Dang.
Hey, Rashid, I feel him though, cause I work in information technology and I still have the same problem. How do you not understand what this is?
Mm-hmm. All I gotta say is what it all boils down to concerning the Wii U and these people out there that suddenly got like buyer's remorse, etc. and whatnot. They bought the latest pair of sneakers and basically are not feeling the fact that it's not of their favorite player at the moment.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They're worried about somebody else seeing their new kicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about the fact that they're the ones walking in them.
Pretty much.
It's all about other people.
It's just that mentality. Look, this person got it, that person got it, that person got it. I gotta have it too.
And that's what the PS4 is.
I don't mind the drones saying the stupid things that they say, but again, we're talking about game theory here, and they're usually pretty solid, and they have a huge audience, like I said, and if they start perpetuating this nonsense, what do you?
That's why Nintendo needs to address it.
But you know what though? Just like everybody else, just like certain file individuals, Google Analytics will dictate. So when analytics says, "Hey, you got to decline," you got to do what you got to do. Apparently, so this is one reason why I do not have a channel that is quote unquote sponsored. I want to be able to speak whatever I want to speak. I want to be able to say whatever I want to say, and if there's anything wrong out there, I'm going to correct it. Period.
Exactly.
I'd rather be sponsored and then piss them off and tell the truth. That way they'd be like, it's too late. I want to be the Andy Kaufman of video game journalism.
Yeah. And the word will get out really fast then.
Like Howard Stern, basically.
Oh, something like that. But I say Andy Kaufman just really get people mad.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. I spoke ill of YouTube, so I'm not afraid to do that. Even though I'm on their service, I still speak ill of them.
A lot of people speak ill of YouTube.
Right, so just being sponsored is, it's not shouldn't stop you from saying what you want to say.
No. But for me, I don't care if Game Theory wants to leave this video up, but if you want to be fair, do one on all three of the consoles.
Exactly.
One on the Xbox One and one on the PS4 should be done too. And if you really want to go far, do one on the PS Vita and one on the 3DS.
With actual facts, not
PS Vita is the next Engage.
Oh, but nobody cares about that though, because the Nintendo does well in handhelds, so we just ignore that part and keep talking about Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah,
because they're the industry apparently.
But the thing is, here's the interesting part, though. What people got to realize is if you look at the numbers across the board at different countries for different ones, everybody's hurting somewhere at one point. All of the big three.
Yep.
Especially
horrible in the UK. Okay, Xbox does great in the UK. In the US, it's PlayStation's everything. Everybody's cream of the crop. Over there in Japan, everybody's hollering about Nintendo and mostly the handhelds. So everybody does great somewhere, and everyone does some bad somewhere at some point. There's a push-pull, you know what I'm saying, in the industry when it comes to that kind of thing. And nobody ever brings that up. Everybody's always concerned about what their favorite piece of plastic is doing and saying that, then look for whatever news that they can spin negatively about their opposing console.
Pretty much.
It's pretty simple. You guys said it earlier. I don't know who said this earlier. Talking about the sales.
I think I did, yeah.
Okay. Well, like you said earlier, is that not the sales, but the advertising. With the abysmal, let's just put it out there, abysmal advertising of the Wii U, and the lack of games, the droughts. To be sitting on 6 million plus sales in a year is, to me, amazing.
Yes.
That's just amazing to me. And you can't name any other console in that time period that sold 6 million units other than the PS4 and the Wii. That's it.
Damage control. Damage control.
Damage control is into the ring.
When you combat negativity with your opinion and facts, that's called damage control in this community.
But I'm gonna tell you like this. The only thing, like I said many times before, and I'm gonna say it again, that's really stopped me from buying a PS4 at this moment, at this point in time, is the fact that I need to see a good number of titles that I find compelling to me. You know what I'm saying? That'll compel me.
Have you checked the launch schedule of the PS4?
It's gonna be
No,
It's
no,
gonna
no,
be
no, no.
amazing.
I have, and it's taken a little bit of time for them to get what I want out. I
It's
mean,
whack.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, unless you a shooter fan, you're really not gonna be satisfied. And whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my thing. I'm not into Killzone, even though I had a lot of people actually bring up the fact that I'm a veteran and say, how can you not like a shooter? Like, what
I
does the one have to do with the other?
I think
Nothing.
putting it this way, if
Not
you're
a damn
shooting
thing.
people all the time in real life, do you really want to do it on a video game?
Not really.
Pretty much. It's not as fun anymore since I got out. Shooters
Hey,
don't
Rashid
appeal
Hey,
to me.
slipped
hey,
out
Quan,
again.
you brought up something important though, because it's funny because we pointed that out in the second Gamers at Large. The second episode, we said, look, everybody's saying all this really bad stuff about Wii U. Guess what? All console launches are going to be like this. And lo and behold, there's what, 3 notable
It
releases
happened.
for both of these consoles out right now?
Mm-hmm.
And what's for the rest of the year? What do they have for the rest of the year?
Nothing. They have a whole bunch of promises about 2015. Really.
Exactly.
Where are the first-party killer apps?
Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts.
There's Killer
Destiny,
Instinct, but
all of
that's
these
because
things.
I'm a
First
fanboy.
party.
Yeah, it's a killer app because it's called Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. It's a killer app for me only.
Okay,
I don't
you guys
think too
keep
many
on
people-
forgetting the #1 selling game, 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Yes, 8 gigs of RAM is a killer app.
Yeah.
Even if
That's
it's slow
Blu-ray
as DDR3, it's 8 gigs. That means it's
And,
8
you
gigs
know,
of RAM and 8 cores.
Speaking of sales, this whole sales thing, right? I just love how people are just like trying to say the Wii U, a failure and all that stuff, because it's not selling. But yet, like I said back at the little podcast thing with Jamie Butterworth, that I basically was wanted to tell them that where were you at the time where the GameCube wasn't selling as well? And as a matter of fact, the GameCube at the time was the lowest selling, console, right next to the Virtual Boy in comparison.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that happens a lot here in this community. The GameCube, in hindsight, that's the best Nintendo system ever.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Of course.
But
While it was out.
obviously it's the worst selling. But you didn't care about that when it was the
But
GameCube.
you know what though? The GameCube had probably some of the best third-party support since the Super Nintendo.
Exactly. It did.
Good question then.
What most people talked about though was that the GameCube didn't have third-party
Right.
support.
They always
which is
talk about
hilarious.
when it comes to Nintendo, they always talk about what Nintendo didn't have. You don't talk about the great things that it
Yeah.
does have.
Okay,
Man,
You know, it's
Beyond
like-
Good and Evil, all the Mortal Kombat games, that gone True Crime Streets of LA. I mean, just every major third-party game, Turok. I mean,
Let's talk about the Wii. Let's
didn't
talk about
have
how people
GTA.
forget that Metroid Prime 3 Corruption existed. People forget that Red Steel 2 existed. People forget that Xenoblade existed and all these games that came out on the Wii. Suddenly
Forget
those
all about No
all
More
of those
Heroes.
excellent games.
What?
Yeah,
No Zack and
exactly.
Wiki? No Zack and
Wow.
Wiki?
The game that no one played
Oh,
but was
yeah.
incredible.
hell,
Exactly.
Elements. I play Elements.
Yeah.
People forgot about No
yeah,
More
right,
Heroes,
exactly.
Sin and Punishment 2.
Exactly.
I was about to say that, in my own honest opinion, that the Wii, the original Wii, is the most underrated Nintendo console. It's the most overhated Nintendo console
By
of all time.
gamers, yeah, quote unquote gamers.
It's the only reason it's hated on so
that's
much
a different conversation right
It's
there.
because it sold more than everybody else, and it shouldn't have. That little piece of junk should have sold more than PS3 and Xbox 360 because it's so weak, and
Mr. T. Mr.
it
T.
had kitty games, and it should have sold. That's why it's hated on so much. If it sold 30 million copies, nobody would be talking about it.
Mr. T, the Wii didn't win last generation.
No, it didn't
Not
win.
at all. No, it didn't. Come on now. We all
Based on the sales that everyone likes to.
Okay, so quick question then, gents. What counts as success?
You know what the thing is that to them that counts as success? Here's the thing. Everybody wants the buffet that serves only what they want to eat and nobody else. You see, the buffet has to be run specifically for them, what they want, how they want it, when they want it, and why they want it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it serves anything to anyone else, oh my God, don't you dare put a Sesame Street game on there because then the whole entire credibility of the console is gone. You didn't know that?
Well, then the credibility of the 360 went.
When Viva Pinata came out and was a good game.
I'm glad you brought that up too. 'Cause I left a message on Review Tech Rich's video recently. He was talking about I can't remember what the main thing was about, but he mentioned that third-party games sold like crap on Wii. And I'm like, really? I remember 70 million plus seller third-party games on the Wii. That's 70,
Rich is
70,
the same.
million
That's the
plus
most
sellers.
million sellers last
But
year, by the way.
people throw that stuff out there because because they want to buy into that theory or that
That notion.
that notion, right? That the Wii was weak with third party this and this and that, but it's just not the case. Because the Wii remote is a gimmick, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, just because you didn't like your Wii doesn't mean the millions of the other people that bought all these games on Wii didn't like their Wii. Just because yours collected dust, quote unquote, doesn't mean everybody else's did. And people can't get past they're blocking their own head.
Super Paper Mario.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Freaking Monster
Show me
Hunter.
another console that has 20 million sellers, 30 million sellers. How does that console collect dust? Meanwhile, your so-called first party games on your other systems can't break 3 million sales. The math ain't adding up to your
The other
rhetoric.
first parties don't come close. The only other
Don't even come
franchises that did it was Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. That's it.
They
And
hit
that's
10
combining
million,
all the systems
maybe.
together.
The thing is,
We
this
play.
interesting-
We play sold 30 million copy. We play.
You know what the interesting thing is too? People keep talking about rehashes and things being brought out over and over and over
Oh
again.
my
ad nauseam.
God.
I'm
Oh.
gonna say one thing.
HD collection.
We're saying about what's going to happen this coming year with Assassin's Creed. There's going to be 2 titles brought out.
In 1 year.
We just had Assassin's Creed come out with how many games already? Not that long ago.
15.
There are officially right now more Assassin's
Is there
Creed
18?
games than there are 3D Mario games in existence.
That
is a fact.
People
You put
are just
the-
probably gonna defend it too. The people are probably gonna defend it too, even though. But then when it comes to new Super Mario Brothers being, 2 new Super Mario Brothers games being released in the same year, people are just gonna, crap on it.
And
No.
I'm not knocking Assassin's Creed games for what they are. They have interesting storytelling. They got a lot of different
Interesting
mechanics.
storytelling.
Yeah, interesting.
That's it.
But that
they
brings
got
up the point, though.
some
They milk
play
it just like
mechanics
everybody
they
else.
I like like the ship battles, etc. and whatnot. They tweak some of the game mechanics, etc. and whatnot. But the thing is, there has to be something new. I would like to see something using that little touchpad thing over there that the PlayStation 4 has. I want to see something off screen with the smart glass that they have over there for the Xbox One. I want to see something like that done. Give me something more than just prettier graphics.
And the only guys that the big AAA studios who have these 10 million seller plus games that aren't releasing every year is the Rockstar, and everybody else is doing this assembly line structure. It's just we're gonna keep pumping these games out. We're gonna add this, a little that to it. and
Rockstar
we're
is
gonna
like a
release it every
Nintendo
year.
developer.
Basically.
And even Mario games don't
Well,
do
they
that.
were at one point.
Mm-hmm.
No,
They have
I'm
a
saying
deal
their
with them
pattern
back
of
in-
release.
I think is
Like they take their time.
They have the same mentality because they worked with them before.
yep.
And yeah, there's already at least 2 more Watch Dogs games in development right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't believe
That's
when I heard
and the
that.
first one ain't even out yet. That's just that's sad to me.
The thing is, interestingly enough, about the Watchdog, how they delayed the Wii U version. Like I said, if they're doing a silent killing off of the game, okay, fine, whatever. At least come clean. You know what I'm saying? Come clean with it. But if they're actually going to work on using the app and integrating it into the actual Wii U version of the game, so they don't have no need for a mobile or a tablet or anything else aside from the one that already comes with the system to be used with it, I say more power to them with that delay.
That's the
Absolutely.
word. That's the word. That's what they're doing, apparently.
Yeah, I'll wait on that. If that's the case, explain that to me though.
Exactly.
Well, the other thing is this, too, though. Wouldn't it be financial suicide for them to stick to the release date, too, though? Like, they have
Mario
to release
Kart 8.
after Mario Kart. They have to release after Mario
Yeah.
Kart. There's no way that they can release the same week as that game coming out, or even even remotely close. They can't release in the same month as Mario Kart, as far as I'm
Mario
concerned.
Kart is gonna destroy everything.
Pretty much. Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, friggin'.
If they advertise.
Well, you know
Because
what?
Mario 3D World still sold well, but it didn't sell as well as I thought it was going to sell.
But Mario
They
Kart
are.
was
They
what,
are.
the second or third first party game bestseller last year, last
True.
generation. So
All right.
we'll see what
So,
happens.
moving right along, we're going to move on to another topic right here. Letters, what's your topic, dude? Sit up here and do your thing, man.
Well, I think this will provoke a little bit of thought. But since we all are feeling the impending crash of the major third parties, I just had this one interesting thing I had thought about just a little while ago, coming up with Nintendo and all of the indies that are dropping on the Wii U. What do you think about Nintendo bringing in the video game renaissance after the crash with the indie developers?
It's going to happen.
They are the new third party.
Indies, they're the
the
new
destiny.
third parties.
But I mean, how do you think that this is going to go? I mean, because we know once these major third parties die out, we're going to lose a lot of these hardcore gamers. So where do you think that renaissance of gaming is going to go?
You know what? I don't know. I got a feeling that there might be a resurgence to things such as real-time strategy, believe it or not. Because I've noticed a lot of things,
yes.
a lot of the casual gamers that are on iPhone apps and whatever have lately been getting into this one. I forgot the name of the game, but this
Clan,
RTS that they got on there.
something. It's called Clan.
Yeah, Clan something. I forgot
Yeah.
what it's called, but they're getting into an RTS slowly and steadily, and I could see motion controls being implemented by all the big three, believe it or not, into sitting up here and bringing access to RTS gaming on a console in a good way.
Word.
It already happened with, let me see. I think I have one inside the Armoire that I keep inside there. It's called, dang, I forgot the name of it. Give me a second. Let me look over there right quick.
Well, while he's looking, if that's going to take a little while, I'd say that the new third party, the indies, are going to make games that appeal to those who liked Assassin's Creed and all these hardcore games from the major third parties to talk about now, right? But they're going to actually be of some quality. You know what I'm saying? Of some like true quality with
course.
replay value and all of that stuff.
They're going to be forced to make quality because without
Yeah.
quality, it's not going to sell. And we
Just
already
like
know.
the other game Crash.
I
Yeah.
think they
Found it.
already are. Because
Found it.
Game
Dawn
has
of
40
Discovery.
gamers.
Dawn of Discovery. It was
That
on
sounds
Wii.
interesting.
It was on Wii, and they had that was an RTS that used the Wiimote, similar to how you would use a mouse. You know what I'm saying? How you would point and click.
Dawn of Discovery?
Yeah, I think that's on the DS too.
Yeah, let me look that up.
Mm-hmm.
I love anything to do with strategy, but you guys already know that.
I'm all about the indie renaissance because, if you watch my videos, you know that I recently got contracted to do a indie film that I'm working on. I'm the editor and
Yes, and congratulations on that.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. And I often try to relate a lot of video game stuff that happens to video games to film as well. Like I said previously, Hollywood got really stagnant in the mid to late 60s. A lot of films coming out were the very same, and that led to the indie renaissance that brought us George Lucas's and Steven Spielberg's. And that's the same thing that can and likely will happen with video games. A lot of these bigger studios will fall off. They'll lose all this talent, and that talent usually goes on and does their own thing, and it's usually very creative. Because that's the best thing about
Monolith
indies.
Soft.
Exactly. That's the best thing about indies is that they are released from the shackles. They have the freedom to do what they always wanted to do, and they're very creative because that's what they have to do to get attention. So that's how they see getting attention is to be the farthest out there that they can be. So that's always good for the industry. So the worst thing about the crash is people are going to lose their jobs. And that's never good. But usually those people will go on and create their own next job.
You ever get a feeling when playing an indie game that the people who made the games just went crazy and didn't even know what to do with themselves, so they just went crazy.
That's generally, I think, how most indies start out.
Like they were just
Their first
too
game.
happy and excited to make this game. that they
Unepic.
put everything they wanted in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Epic is a perfect example.
Yes.
And what's the Retro City Rampage? Like I'm playing that. I played that game, and it felt like the Super Nintendo game that no one was ever able to make with the hardware constrictions at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're just like, I want to do this and that and this and that and this and that.
Heck, man,
10 times over.
I'm looking at
That's
Tesla
great.
Brand when that comes out because
Oh my
excited
God.
for that.
What about Pierce the Lore?
Yes.
I could keep naming one. I can keep
One
naming
word.
one after another indie title. Let me see.
There's so many.
Then they got the
awesome
parkour
indie
game that
titles
looks
coming
like
out.
Jet Set Radio. What's the
Yeah,
name of that one?
Oh man.
I forgot the name.
Rebel Gaming or something like that?
something to that effect, and it's like
Rebel
Jet Set.
Gamers?
Yeah. And let me tell you something. I've been looking for a Jet Set Radio for the longest time because I'm a
Man.
big fan of Air Gear, and I love the whole concept of
So,
anti-establishment skaters type things.
if anybody has not listened to the last
I
podcast,
need a regalia. Sorry.
You mean the Anime at Large podcast?
Hey, I'm sorry I
watched
initiated that. Well, not really.
Oh man.
Here's another thing I'm thinking. We've noticed so many, executive producers and big names leaving third-party companies to do their own games. Who was it? Koji was the last one. He said he wanted to do a Metroid game.
Oh,
Metroid
man.
I mean, how awesome would that be?
Word.
One thing, is it a little funny that we see big name developers leaving their companies and then they want to work on Nintendo projects?
Absolutely.
something just ain't right.
Something ain't right in the world.
Something's in the air, people. Pay attention.
I'm just telling you something right now. Me, I'm like this. All the big three need to sit up here and focus on looking at these people that are going out, striking out on their own from their big studios to make independent ventures and help them, push them along, encourage them, even finance them if they can, in order to sit up here and see if we could revitalize this industry. Because quite honestly, the cookie cutter shooter is getting tired.
Two of the big three need to be scared. One of the big three need to be shelling out money to help these indies develop. I think y'all know who I'm talking about.
I said all three need to shell out money because, I mean, you got to put out money to make money. They got to all three do it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Can I say one thing, Quan? One thing. Nintendo, I hope you're listening to this. Keiji Inafune wants to make Mega Man Legends 3. Get on it with him and Capcom. Get him in there.
He's been talking about it like crazy.
Oh, Lord. That
He's not
right
gonna be
there
able to do it though because he doesn't have the copyright to Mega Man, right?
Copyrights to Mega Man. That's the problem.
And they're not gonna give
That's
that
why I
up.
said get him and Capcom in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
gotta
you
get
did say
Capcom
that. I'm
on board,
sorry.
too. I mean, Capcom will give it up if you give them the money. That's what they won't do it. I mean, that's
He
what
is in Smash Brothers.
I think Mighty Number 9 is going to get Capcom's attention.
Yeah. If
That
it hasn't already.
is going to be like... I'm sure it already
should have
has.
already. With the
A long time
the
ago.
money it made.
I'm pretty sure the lawyers are on standby.
And Azure Striker too. Y'all forget about that one. That's come out this year.
That looks interesting. I will get that for sure.
Don't even get me started about these little eShop
That's
titles that you
Space
see
Anime.
that are really pushing it. You know what I'm saying? As of
Those
late.
don't exist, Quan. The indies are only on PS4.
Just all the indie shooting games.
Show me an IGN article where they're talking about it. Show me a GameSpot article where they're talking about it. They really aren't.
Oh Lord! You mean
All
those
the
big
one-on-one.
print ad sheets that they sit up here and call a website?
Yeah,
I want to see...
basically.
I'm hearing...
Oh
Sorry.
man! No, I'm just telling you right now that, like I said, the big three, if they sit up here and start shelling out the money, and it doesn't cost much because the indies they're hungry and they do a lot with a little.
Oh yeah.
There should be no reason why Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony don't start shelling out the bucks for this. And forget about big name advertising. Forget about having this star, and that star present your game. Instead of paying them money to show their face and walk off with a check, why don't you give that check to an indie?
Don't even give a check to them. Just send them a development kit.
Thank you. Something.
Send Shining a development kit. Send them a development kit to make F-Zero.
I
Oh,
say
yes.
send them money because they already got a dev kit.
Yeah, just give them the money.
Yeah.
Pay them just to make an engine.
Make them a second party or a first party developer. Make them Monolith Soft, please.
I'm just telling you something right now. You give it time, and I'm like I said, I'm rooting for all three. And I know people say that's crazy because I'm supposed to like only Nintendo. But the reason
It's
I want
not.
all three to succeed, the only reason I want all three to succeed is that nobody is in too much control, and they have to push each other even harder.
Exactly. We need
Yeah.
competition to have growth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nintendo ain't gonna do nothing if they ain't got competition. I think,
Of course,
just like the rest of them.
Yep.
You ever seen those animal shows where they show walruses on the beach and you got the really big one? You know what I'm saying? And he's like
Yeah.
freakishly huge compared to the other ones. They don't even bother challenging him anymore. And every time there's a slap fight, they gotta wait till the thing grows old and dies before they finally take over.
But the problem is, the thing will inevitably grow old and die, and that's the problem.
And I don't want that to happen with Nintendo for it to be
Yep.
old, fat, and complacent.
Good point.
Mhm. Which
The
is
Wii U got it fat a little bit. He got a little overweight with the Wii.
Yeah, because they're still fat off of the Wii sales.
We about to make them do some crunches though with the Nintendo movement.
Oh, speaking of which, you know the
Oh.
Wii still just sold like 2 million units this last Christmas, right?
Wow.
Yep.
even now.
People not talking about
That's
that.
showing something.
Money in the pocket.
I mean,
How many
Mario
of those-
Kart
how
Wii
many-
just
how
sold
many-
1 million copies.
How many of those were actually mistaken for Wii U's? I'm curious.
That was my question.
Probably 3/4
Well,
of them.
they've been marketing the Wii Mini too, though, so it may be lumped in with that also. And I'll tell you this: I couldn't find none in stores. The people that were carrying them, I saw them there for like maybe a day, and then they were gone. So
Yeah.
I was with my
keep
brother
it in
at
mind.
I
Hilton.
couldn't find one either. I wanted to get a Wii Mini.
Honestly,
Why don't
that
you
makes
get
me
a
kind of
Wii
mad at
for
Nintendo though.
Hmm.
Like those really could have been Wii U sales, but maybe not. I don't know.
I agree. I agree. Be honest with you. I think that they should have, during the time that they were phasing out the Wii U, they should have set up and slowly brought in and pushed, backwards compatibility, of the Wii U
Yeah.
to show it replace and segue into that from the Wii.
And that would have directly combated what we talked about earlier with the GameStop employee who told those people they couldn't play Wii games on their Wii U.
Oh man, I wish I could walk into that GameStop and slap that dude.
I think Wii Mini though is a result of the supply guy saying, "Hey, look, we still have another 10 million of these CPUs out here. We need to make something to go ahead and push them out the door." And
Good point.
I think that's pretty much how they got rid of excessive
I just
stock.
don't understand how you could be such a fanboy of something that you go to your job, your workplace, and lie about a product that you sell.
That's the main place that does it, though.
It's not making you any money. Why are you?
I would be the bad customer in this situation because if I didn't know that, I would go out on the internet and look it up. Actually, probably look it up on my phone while I'm standing there with him and show it to him that he's wrong.
The conspiracy is real, y'all. It's real.
It is very real. I know personally. I know a
It's
guy
real
that's accused to be a
because-
Sony fanboy. He got fired from said major retailer that only sells video games.
Yeah, because I can.
Could have been
tell you
GameWare.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you know
what were you
know
saying,
what it
Shep?
is,
Hold
right?
on, guys. What were you saying, Shep?
Oh, this is a special episode where everybody just shut Shep up.
Oh, no, go ahead, man. Go
Oh,
ahead.
oh,
I'm
It's
being-
a good shepherd speech.
Don't pay me no mind, bro. But
No. Go ahead, man.
No, but basically, like you said, I used to think at first it was a conspiracy theory or whatever, but everywhere I turn around, people are blatantly lying and giving false information. I was like, wow, this is. I go to, like I told you last week, the GameStop, going to Best Buy, and these people are feeding all this crap. And I'm like, wow. And the sad part is, the general populace has no clue they're being lied to.
Yeah, like I was saying though, before when I was at Walmart and I was talking to those people, and the thing is, we were talking in Spanish, so the employees had no idea what we were talking about. So we're talking back and forth, and I'm over here getting it in with them, talking about somehow, yeah, they lied to you flat out. No, this is this, and this is this because of this and this, and they were like, what? They sold like a bunch of Wii games, their whole Wiimote collection and accessories, and the full nine, with the thought that they could not use it with the Wii U.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I would have been.
That's a damn shame. You know the
That is
GameStop
horrible.
employees was laughing when they left.
They wanted that money too, because they make all their money off of used sales.
Yep.
I would have been so ticked off with them.
That's a shame.
Like I said, that's a lawsuit right there.
That's a
All
lawsuit.
this
That's
information.
a straight up lawsuit.
Once my card expires, I'm only gonna go buy my stuff at Walmart, Best Buy, and Amazon. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm done-
I'm
I'm done with
guilty. I went
GameStop.
and bought Yoshi at GameStop the other day. I felt bad. I felt like I'd done it with a prostitute or something. I just felt dirty.
Oh Lord. Well, hey, at least I can say that I bought a copy of Last of Us from Walmart.
Hey,
That's my new spot.
I gotta play that game eventually. See what the hype is about.
Hey, it's open 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying?
Get your gaming
you want that
needs
game
anytime.
that bad? You want that game that bad? You can cop it quick.
There you go.
wow.
Pretty much. I've been sneaking in there too, checking them out just in case they got something I want.
Square Enix is hustling me right now. I'm playing Final Fantasy X Remake.
Go in there in your pajamas. Everybody else do.
I've seen that.
No, see, Mr. T, you need to do a T-Doll special with the Mr. T-Doll in pajamas going through Walmart, because you just said
Word.
people are
Dude, I would die of
Mr.
laughter.
Tito. There's no Mr. calling me a dog fool.
Yeah, you made a mistake, bro.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to say it that way.
Just
You
watch too much
should
Walking
go
Dead.
to Walmart.
He's a lot of character, man.
Too much
It's an
Walking
action
Dead.
figure.
He just said that because you're his favorite piece of plastic.
Look here, I think your onions are making him upset.
Mr. T, we gotta get you promoted up more, bro.
Oh Lord.
I swear one of these
You know the
podcasts,
truth.
I'm going to have a heart attack laughing at y'all.
No, I mean we can't help it. We gotta have our fun. But moving right along though, getting on this whole thing. I want to touch on the PS4 for a little bit. Okay. And
Right.
the thing about the
Go for it.
PS4 that I'm noticing now is that it's starting to lag behind in sales in Japan, and I'm actually concerned about that because
You've never jumped in sales. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Poor
about
sales
to
in
bring
Japan,
about
period.
that too, back at the game theory topic.
It's a home country too. That's sad.
Go ahead, Quan.
But like I said though, I'm kind of like concerned because here's the thing. Like I said, I'm all about making sure that I want to see balance in the industry. That these guys are fighting hungry for a spot. You know what I'm saying? In our wallets, they want to sit up here and fight for that position. And if one of them fails, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Like I said, we're gonna have that fat walrus, and I don't want to see that happen. But he's sitting up here and talking about some. And no offense to you now,
As I said, Gilligan.
No offense to you, not that walrus.
Actually,
Well-
my icon is a lemming.
Oh, okay. That's a lemming. Look at the walrus to me missing the teeth.
Oh, that is a lemming.
Hey, Quan, I gotta disagree with you though. I think it's going to be fine in Japan for the meantime, unless Sony proper decides to go ahead and bail out of it because of financial reasons.
Yeah.
But on the game side of things, it's not going to sell until the stuff they want shows up. So until a new Yakuza game or Zone of the Enders or any Tales RPG shows up, it's not going to sell. But as soon as those show up, you're gonna see units.
Don't let Last of Us 2 show up.
Ooh.
I mean, like I said, I
Represents
started playing that last night, and I kind of liked what I saw a little bit. But the only thing is the AI needs some work. Aside from that, like I said, I'm with the story a bit. I'm with the story. You know me, I like my Walking Dead. So what can I say?
Oh yeah.
That game was a movie.
And I gotta agree with Shep about one thing: Yakuza needs to make it stateside, like ASAP.
Yep.
I never played any of those games. What is that game? Like,
I'll let Shep take the floor so he can explain a little bit. But
No. My mic is kind of jacked up tonight, so
I hear
I'll
you.
let you guys explain it better.
I hear you perfectly.
go ahead,
you
man.
do? Oh,
Yeah, I hear you
all right,
perfectly,
well,
dude.
Oh, so
Yeah, go
why is
ahead.
it that? Go ahead.
No, you go right ahead. I was about to say go right ahead.
Welcome to the Go Right Ahead podcast.
No, you
Oh
first.
my god,
no,
now my brain is fried.
Who's on
What
first?
is
Just go,
Yakuza?
Corn, just go.
What the hell going on right now?
What made him give up? What's wrong with
Let's just
y'all?
go bang my head in the wall for a second. I'll be right back.
Somebody, come on.
All right, somebody explain
Oh, damn
Yakuza.
it.
Okay, I haven't played the Yakuza games, but I will say this: Yakuza is basically a game that it's kind of a beat 'em up in a way.
Think True
But it's an
Crime Streets
RPG
of LA.
too.
True Crime Streets of LA with a lot of side quests and whatnot, a lot of side games and the full nine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that.
It's more true crimes than it is Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the simplest way to put it.
But
With a
is it a
little bit of
good game?
Shenmue thrown in.
Yeah, with some
It-
Shenmue,
Which,
I was gonna say, little Shenmue in there.
It's one of those love it or hate it kind of games. So the people
Okay.
that love it are going to buy it in droves. The people that hate it, they know immediately that they hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which reminds me,
Monster Hunter.
I'm surprised that we didn't manage to get Yakuza stateside. You know, the first two Yakuza games that was out on Japan Wii U.
I think that's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what was that Yakuza 3 or Yakuza whichever name that one was, I forget.
The HD 1 and 2.
Yeah, the HD.
It sounds like
collection.
it has a good appeal to American audiences.
You know what the thing is, though? A lot of the times, Nintendo of America makes the mistake of thinking that we don't like those quote-unquote niche titles that you see over there in Japan. Like, for example, Xenoblade, let me see, Last Story,
Yeah.
the big three, Pandora's Tower. They think we don't like those kind of games. And then all of a sudden, when you hear a huge outcry, all of a sudden they coincidentally say, oh, we weren't paying attention to you guys, but we thought somehow maybe, something to the effect of like here,
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the kind of stupidity that killed a lot of games from the
Let's get my
Saturn
brothers and
coming over here.
sisters.
That really killed Saturn. with
That kind
all
of
those games.
regional thinking is what killed this.
I'm sorry, but to be frankly honest, a lot of the Sega Saturn versions of games, the Japanese ones that didn't make it over here, were so much better on the Saturn than they were on the PlayStation.
Yeah. Tomb Raider. Tomb
I
Raider.
can name you a list of like 20 or 30 games.
Nintendo needs to make a deal with
Resident Evil
Sega
2 and Tomb
get
Raider
all
are the
those
definitive
games
versions
on the
of those
eShop.
games on Saturn.
Okay. Well, like I was saying though, before, this is why they need to pay attention and bring the different niche titles. They keep saying they want to find different titles that people are interested in. Yet when they actually have them in their hands, they don't want to bother bringing them to the populace, even when they've already been localized for Europe, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think they would give us something that went to Europe.
Yeah, I'm looking at you. What's that game that didn't come out? The Disaster Day of Crisis. I'm looking at
Oh
you.
yeah,
Disaster.
and people wanted Captain Nemo too,
Oh
which
man, I
I
love
never really.
Disaster too. Disaster
Why
is
is Monster Hunter 4 not coming to the Wii U?
I have no idea. That makes no sense
That's-
to me whatsoever.
That's between Nintendo and Capcom.
I think it's Capcom's fault. I blame Capcom.
Capcom wants to make that mobile money, remember?
Yeah.
They want to take that money they made off Nintendo and
It
bring
is
it
going to
to
be on the 3DS, though, right?
Square Enix is doing the same. Yeah.
You know that if it's not on the 3DS, you know what's going to happen to Monster Hunter, pretty much.
We need a honey
It's
party,
gonna
by the
go.
way.
It'll fall by the wayside.
Or it's going to go back to PlayStation.
Or yeah, that's possible.
No.
They ain't gonna put that on no video.
They're gonna put it on the Vita.
I would love to see Vita and 3DS cross gameplay. Be honest with you.
That'd be awesome.
That would be interesting, but that's something Nintendo and Sony got to work out. I mean, we know Nintendo's open to the idea. I don't know about Sony though,
It should be. It helps sell some
because
of the
because here's what I'd be doing. Quan, I'm sorry, I would have to troll on this because I would be playing it like, well, I get my online for free. What about you?
Oh,
They had to go to the Pokemon
Hold on,
to
wait,
buy that
hold
burn
on.
heal.
You don't need a subscription for the Wii U?
Oh Lord, dude, that's like telling the guy to ride his bike without a seat. That's cold, dude. That's cold.
I would love that
would
on the Wii U and the PlayStation 4 though.
Oh man. All I gotta say is this.
That would be even worse.
I would like to see cross gameplay between the big three, if assuming that they're down for it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I think that'll lead to better growth. Between the three of them easily.
Oh yeah,
It would
definitely.
be.
I think that'll lead to
Hey, look.
even more hardcore fanboyism.
Oh, that too.
That would be the ultimate fanboy wars right there. You get a bunch of
Seriously.
people on Call of Duty playing across all three systems.
Oh my
And then
god.
people get mad at the Wii U
That
players
would
because they
be
can do their
fire,
counter
son.
strikes quicker.
Hey, wait.
Oh my god.
No, all we gotta do
The
is
kill
on
streaks,
the
I
Wii U-
mean, that counter
Listen,
strike.
on the Wii U, all we gotta do is just basically time it where we know right around the time where these people's paychecks are about due and they haven't quite paid off their gold membership.
Yep.
They're plus and they're boom.
Well, where all the reviews went at? They gone.
See, that would be two advantages for a shooter on the Wii U, because you either got one, your Wii remote nunchuck set up for your super accuracy, or you got the gamepad for the quick kill streaks, or the combination of both, which would make you pretty much godlike in that game.
And
Yet another reason why the
to see
conspiracy is
Nintendo
real.
fanboys at the top of the leaderboards and showing the little icon for the Wii remote.
I got a dumb question.
But even,
Because
what
it's
would
already
be
obvious.
even worse, what they would have to do would be even better, is they would have to put an insignia on it so that you know what system the person is playing on.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Oh.
Or they would take it off so they wouldn't have too much
we'd see some
revolt.
real fanboy boys there.
Oh man, that'd be crazy.
I think it'd be funny because then you actually see PlayStation Move make a comeback.
True.
It probably
True
would.
that.
Demos versus PS Move.
But no, that would give
That
people too much.
actually might
They wouldn't have the excuse to not support the Wii U anymore.
Exactly.
It's just like with Smart Glass. Like, they don't have any excuse to not support the gamepad if they're going to support Smart Glass.
Mhm.
Okay, gentlemen.
Look at you, Hideo Kojima.
Exactly.
Hello.
Hideo Kojima. Mister, I want my character in your game, but I'm not putting my game on your system.
Troll face.
Here's
Troll
what I say
face.
to that. Here's what I say to that. Goodbye, sir.
Snake, it was nice knowing you.
Snake.
We had some good times.
Oh Lord. All
But
I
it's
gotta
time
say,
to keep you waiting.
exactly. All I gotta say is that I would like to see more games released on all the big three on a consistent basis. Right now, Nintendo's starting to pick up speed, okay? And pretty soon, not much longer, you're going to see the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually do with the control setups. That's what I want to see. I mean, we get it. The games are going to look pretty. They're going to be beautified and whatever. You know what I'm saying? All the people, they like to count pixels. They can take their jeweler's lopes and do that all day long. Fine. Cool beans. But I'm going to tell you like this. Unless they do something that with that little tiny touchpaddy thing over there on the PlayStation 4, or unless
What
they do
is that?
something with that Surface, I don't want to hear it.
What
It's
is that
basically,
touchpad thing?
look, basically Sony copied the Ouya
It's an
controller.
extra button.
It's innovation.
It's an extra
That's
button.
what it is.
It ain't no innovation.
But you,
That's funny because I've been seeing like these reviews for like Killzone Shadowfall and Infamous Second Son, right? Both of these games look absolutely amazing on the PS4. However, everyone's been saying that the gameplay is subpar or just completely underwhelming.
It's underwhelming because it's the same gameplay we've been playing for the last years.
Yeah, they're not going to change it.
Look at the Metacritic scores. They don't count unless it's bad Nintendo scores. My bad.
Oh my god.
A 79 is bad for Nintendo, but good for a game that, just came out for.
No, it's not good for a game. It doesn't matter then.
Yeah.
Metacritic don't matter, man.
The critic was
Don't nobody care about no Metacritic, man, when it comes to my games.
All I gotta say is, like I said, given time, you're gonna see a lot more games come out. Hopefully, the big three will take their heads out of the collective behinds and then finally go at it like they should.
Exactly.
That's why, out of all the developers for Sony, I hope that Media Molecule, if they don't get kicked out, will start taking a full advantage of the PS4 and not just graphics. I want to see them to utilize the touchpad on the PS4, use the PS Move, the camera, all that their future games.
I have a question for the tech-savvy people.
There's a lot of potential that needs to be used.
How much does the power of these systems contribute to actual gameplay, as in, like, response from the remotes and everything like that? Like, if I'm playing a shooter, for instance, or a platformer on the PlayStation 4, how much power do you really need for the gameplay itself?
None.
Not much. A lot of it's for the features. A lot of the additional power that they have
the
are for the
RAM,
features.
all the RAM and stuff is mainly for graphical stuff, right? And
Not
for
really.
OS.
Not really.
No,
It's for the
not
computer
really.
program.
More OS and features.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I just was curious.
It
So
depends.
how much goes to graphics?
It depends on how the system's designed. Like for PS4, the RAM is going to be specifically for graphics because you can take a lot of that and make all close to, I want to say 5 to 6 gigs the frame buffer for the PS4. So really big games to be made for it. But Xbox One and Wii U, they're different because their DDR3 RAM is for main memory and whatever is going to be like texture storage. But you can only draw them like 1 frame at a time. So the main memory is not even really used for that. It's just a holding place.
Damn.
See, because the way people talk about RAM, it makes me feel, because I don't know tech at all.
That's
The way
because they
people
don't know
talk
what
about
they're
RAM now, they talk about it's all about graphics.
No,
They make it seem like it's a graphic thing.
Let's put it this way: all you need is 10 to 16 megabytes per frame to draw an HD picture, right? And then in addition to that, you need a couple more megabytes to store like some really large textures that look real good, uncompressed, right?
Yeah.
And all these systems have some form of compression on the fly. So you're talking about maybe 17 megabytes per frame to do anything. What they're talking about is that there are some rendering techniques that the PC can do and the PlayStation 4 can do by extension, since all the RAM is available. That you can make quote unquote bigger environments, but at the same point in time, you can't draw more than what the native display is going to be. So what's the point of wasting 8 gigs of RAM for your entire frame buffer if you only need like 10 to draw 1080p?
See, and the main problem is you got a lot of technology posers, especially console
Exactly.
Hey, I see what you
don't
did
know what they're talking about. They see a number. They see a number. Well, that number is higher, so that must mean better. Like I had a 1 gigahertz MacBook. My first MacBook was 1.2 gigahertz. Had a CPU on it, and it was leaps and bounds faster than my 3 gigahertz Dell Inspiron. So these fools don't seem to understand that a higher number it's not as simple as a higher number. It's the architecture as well that matters.
Yep,
that matters more.
That's like trying to race a Mack, a full Mack truck rig with a Honda Civic. Okay, fine, the rig may be bigger, but trust me, that Civic's gonna leave it in the dust.
He's gonna smash
So
it.
based on Shadow Fox, question for you. So based on architecture, what is the Wii U capable of? Is it really capable of quote unquote next gen, or in these days current gen graphics of the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One?
Since
like what we're seeing today?
Since you're talking about GPU, nobody will deny that the GPU is the strong suit of the Wii U, right? It has a modern architecture, which means by default it has an architecture that's leaps and bounds over what the 360 and PS3 are capable of doing. Nobody just chooses to point that out because they don't want to port code over to the power architecture versus the x86 stuff that they're used to doing on the PC side.
Yeah.
So it's all about your main game program, and people don't want to port their entire main game program over and do a whole lot of optimization and the pain.
So the optimization doesn't happen because they don't feel like putting in the necessary work.
Correct.
All right.
Pretty much.
I knew the answer to all these questions. I just wanted to make it plain for those who are going to be watching.
Because at the end of the day, you got to pay bills, right? And you got people that are developing stuff, and they come up with all these cool techniques and things like that. Now, how long is it going to take to remake our assets that work specifically for what the Wii U can do with compression? How much is it going to cost us to take all of our code and make it for a quote unquote larger cache per core? Because I mean, per core, like Wii U destroys the x86 CPUs in that regard. They have more available, but only one core can see so much at a time, and the master CPU clock has to adjust. So when oh my God, I could probably do like 2 hours about this.
We don't have to do that. My point is the Wii U can handle the graphics that we're seeing in the next gen. It just in a certain way.
Yeah, currently, yeah.
The point is they don't want to go through the additional work to make it work.
The layman's
they don't want to do.
The layman's turn way of thinking is this: Xbox One and Wii U basically have the same GPU memory setup, right? So you've got a little bit of really fast embedded RAM that does all the intensive graphics work per frame. You got offshore RAM that handles everything else, that handles the game programs, the textures and things like that. You push stuff as needed to the embedded RAM so you can get the beautiful display or what have you. And the people that are just figuring out how to do it on Xbox One can also figure out how to do it on Wii U if they took their time.
But they won't.
They probably won't, depending on who they are. But you may see, if you see people taking advantage of Wii U, it's probably because
I just want to say real quick, whoever doing dishes, please cut that out. I'm sorry, I couldn't take it anymore. It's a lot louder than you think it is, folks.
Yeah, it really, really is. I'm sorry.
My icon is even being annoyed. You can look at his face.
Sound like somebody pretending bar or something over there.
Hey, somebody paying back their bill, man.
Hey, somebody snatched my quad, throw my Heineken. They're having a party or something.
So did y'all hear anything Shadow was saying? I'm sorry about that.
We got most of that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, not the
It's just a
board.
little distraction. That's all.
Bottom line, not the board. It's basically.
I think if I watch the podcast again, maybe I'll get it.
Yeah. But basically, what you're saying is that a lot of people are saying that the Xbox One and the PS4 are pretty much maxed out already right now. And the thing is, the Wii U, because of its architecture, it will have leeway to do more things. So you'll see better graphics. Unlike the other systems, you'll see Wii U games progressing graphically over the next coming years. Which that's. It may not reach PS4 and Xbox One's height, but it will still allow developers to do some cool different things. And just to say real quick, a lot of developers were crying last gen about reaching a wall with the technology in these systems, and and they wanted they wanted this and they wanted that, and they got it now. So let's start seeing that. What you wanted. Let's start seeing that play out in the games and gameplay. That's all I want to see.
That's what I'm waiting for.
We're gonna see it in graphics. We're not gonna see it.
Yeah, we'll see it in graphics, but where's the gameplay?
What it comes down to is like this: the Nintendo Wii U is like a highly fine-tuned import car, and the other systems are like muscle cars. They're great, but unless you tune it up just right, you can only do so much. They're powerful, but
think GameCube, but GameCube for 1080p.
Yeah,
there we go.
Oh my God, the GameCube is pure awesome. It always has been. I don't know why people.
The GameCube,
it is.
The GameCube was overkill for 480p, and the Wii definitely was overkill for 480p. So.
Especially Galaxy. That's one of those games.
I mean, the first game I played on GameCube had some of the best graphics of that whole gen, and that was Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I mean,
Rogue Squadron.
Oh man!
And Nintendo needs
Soul Calibur 2, y'all.
Soul Calibur 2. I loved using Link. I used to tear people up with him.
And
that's what got me disappointed they're not making the Wii U HD version.
That's
because they're stupid.
And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that in 60 frames per second?
Probably.
As far as I remember, it was.
Rogue Squadron.
Which game?
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron.
Oh yeah, it was
GameCube.
Section.
Until the end of the game, it was 6 frames per second.
And the details of that game, it looked absolutely grand, for its time.
Oh yeah, it made Mr. T graphics so for a minute.
Oh yeah, me too. And even despite that. I don't really like it as much as the other 3D Marios. Super Mario Sunshine did look absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah,
it did.
Oh, that was great. That was a good game.
It looks great.
The lighting alone was.
Aesthetically, Mario Sunshine is my favorite game. Yeah. Point blank. Period. Galaxy doesn't touch it to me.
Oh man, can I jump in and do a quick topic, people?
Please.
Go ahead.
Yay! I mean, yes, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Yes. Okay, this is a quick multi-part, but technically we already covered it. Nintendo sitting on their thumbs. What's going on? Also, these new systems, this is all stuff we've covered. It's about what is worth it and what isn't. What's the deal about success, hype, and action?
Mm.
Because you have to keep that in mind. There's success, like I said earlier. What is really success? Because is it the sales? Is it the popularity? Is it profits? And
Well, who are
then
you
I mean,
asking that question to?
Can I
That's a
give the
personal
answer?
definition.
I don't think it's a personal definition. Can I try and give a broad definition real quick, and then y'all come in?
Go for it.
The 3DS is success. Here's why. Because it has a broad user base, it's popular, and the games are of true quality. That's what all of these systems need, is true quality games that also sell well and give people an idea, a broad group of people an idea of what a good game is. You see what I'm saying?
Now, can I give you the console war rating of success?
Yes.
Because the console war, rated by certain press entities, means that the 3DS is not successful. And the reason why is because all of the third parties that they want have still not jumped on board despite everything going right for their system.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yep.
won't talk about it. It won't be in the limelight. It will not.
Because Call of Duty isn't on it,
Screw that.
and Assassin's Creed isn't on it.
Hey, we gonna get Moon Chronicles,
Yep.
which is looking better to me than Call of Duty ever does. So
And that third person shooter that I heard from
yeah, that's the one that Renegade Kid is remaking.
No,
No,
there's
no,
another.
no.
There's another one. There's another.
that
There's another one you talk about.
it looks like
yeah.
Gears of War.
Yeah, it looks kind of like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The name is escaping me right now, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I just
More-
need
more and
Metroid
more to
Hunters
me-
to be on the
more,
3DS.
more and more to me, success is depending on who you ask. Because the people that are feeding the majority of the users here, their gauge of success is way different than the actual companies themselves. The companies just want to make a profit. They made a profit no matter how crappy the system was. To them, that was a success.
Yeah.
Because they have to please their investors, or they have to please whoever the owner is of that company. Now, when it comes to the actual gamer, if it came out with the games you wanted, then it was a success to you.
I don't think that's the
you
case
should be
anymore.
thinking. But now the case is whatever the media tells you, and the media is telling you, hey, what's popular, what generates ad clicks for us the most, and it's not 3DS.
Very much. But here's my determination of the 3DS's success. Games being ported from the 3DS handheld to consoles.
Resident
Meaning
Evil
those games were
Revelations.
that good.
Revelations.
Those games were that good that they couldn't just stay on that handheld. They had to be put on consoles.
Was that
Yeah.
Resident Evil and the
Tells me
Batman
that-
coming out?
Mario 3D World is not a port, but it's a older Big
inspired
Brother
by
for
the-
sure.
Yeah.
An homage, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more like
look
an
at-
extension.
Yeah.
Take
Vast extension.
I think it was T said Resident Evil Revelations. Then you have
Revelations.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow, Mirror of
Yep.
Fate. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that reminds
Batman,
me.
the Batman game too.
I heard
Yeah.
that Eiji Onuma said that the next Zelda is gonna have like top-down sections.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that in particular. He said he was looking at it for the next Zelda game. I don't think he's talking about this
Thinking
particular
about it.
next Zelda game. I think the next game he plans on developing. It was the way he worded it. You could be right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off like that, but I just
That's
don't
alright.
see it happening.
But yeah, I could see that, especially how successful A Link Between Worlds is, right?
I really hope not, though.
So yeah.
Alrighty then.
All right. Okay, and sorry to cut you gentlemen off. Also, to address the first part, which we kind of already did. What do you think Nintendo's doing about all this?
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say right now is this: we're going to have to wait and see, because they just came off the tails of their financial statement. Just like many people have said to them before. Have been told before. They just came off their little financial briefing with their investors. They're going to put these things into motion. They're going to sit up here and steer the course. You know what I'm saying? Course correct, as it were. The company. And there you go. I mean, we don't know right this very second, what they're doing over there in Kyoto at this very second. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I expect the rollout to begin after Mario Kart 8. That's what I expect. Once we
So
roll into
do I.
E3, I think and some major things are going to start happening after Mario Kart 8 and E3 hits. I'd be surprised if that's not the case.
I mean,
Yes,
they're going to have a lot of momentum after they drop Mario Kart 8, so they better do something with it.
Yeah.
This next year will be very interesting.
If they play their cards right with Mario Kart 8, I really hope they play their cards right with it. They can't just release it with no advertising. They need to tell people it's coming out.
Technically, they're already started advertising with the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the Pennzoil thing they're doing and the.
I forgot about that. You're right.
So Mario Kart 8 will be heavily advertised. You can believe that.
Yes, it will, because they plan that to be a system seller.
Yeah.
They've been advertising it for almost a year. It's going to be a year of advertising, actually. I contradicted myself because they've been demoing that since E3 last year.
Yeah, I mean, look at Smash Brothers. I mean, they basically been advertising that since the announcement too. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen who are listening in, we're about to sit up here and wrap this podcast up and sit up here and do our sign-offs. All right, so yeah, we're going to start over here from my right to my left this time. We're going to start off with Shadow Fox. Do your thing.
Hey, this is Shadow Fox Prime, Shadow Fox Infinite. As I always say, do you play games to have fun or to impress other people? I have another video coming up pretty soon that's regarding achievements on Miiverse. People don't know that they're there, and I'm going to talk about how it works.
Okay, up next we got Shep. Shep, do your thing, and nobody's going to interrupt them.
What's up, good people? It's the Good Shepherd. Funny. It's the Good Shepherd. I'm gonna finally put out my video. It's gonna be about gaming, pros and cons, myths and facts. And I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. My question about Nintendo was from one of our fans, David. And that's it. Peace.
Alrighty, up next we got Mr. T, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey fools, Mr. T at the Mr. T Show. Had an excellent time once again on the podcast. I got some videos that should be flowing out pretty steadily this week, so stay tuned for that. All right, fools.
Okay, and up next we got Andre, aka Letters. Letters, do your thing.
Well, it was a great podcast, and seems like we had a lot of thought-provoking stuff going on, so I'm happy with it and satisfied.
And we even got the dishes clean.
No, we didn't. They ain't done.
Oh, man. But, just check out my channel, GVGINU, which is why Quan calls me Letters all the time. Pretty sure y'all see it on the screen. But, like I always say, keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff, and until the next time, enjoy your games.
All right, and up next we got Gilligan Stash, the Lemming. Yo, don't fall over the cliff, man. Go ahead.
I won't. Well, it's another good podcast, and I'm glad to be back. Once again. But hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and also if you want to join in, jump into the True Nintendo Fans Facebook group. So if you want to, so I'm gonna roll out of here.
All right, and up next we got Twilight. Do your thing, Twilight Bites.
Well, what's I am? It's Twilight. Hope y'all enjoyed. I hope I didn't talk too much. Come check out my channel, get on the discussion. I'm busy as hell. I try not to have too many lulls between videos, but I'm extremely happy. I got my Kool-Aid grin on over here because this podcast was the ish. Y'all be cool.
And finally, it's me, myself, and IQMC Quan Manchu, ready to bid you guys all adieu. It was nice being with y'all, chilling with y'all, and doing our thing. And as I always say, whatever's clever.
Hey, Quan.
Hold on. Peace.